to return to the roster and demonstrate his value.
Interesting position for Bemis to find himself in with how well JDC play. But here we go, out the gates, Entropiq's pick, and we've got some long space taken early. Dexter, the in-game leader, to respond from top of A. But Mouz have, I don't want to say mid-control, but mid-presence available here on the CT side.
Nice alternative to jumping on the barrel. You can do it with a teammate's head, alternatively clearing out the back of that car.
Now, curiously to note here, Dex has a full bag of utility, so his nades could really slow down this aggression here of Entropiq. So he spotted something, the smoke wall is coming on through, timing of this nade is everything here.
Yeah, but he can read him perfectly right to the crotch. Nickelback without his sack, and Bemis to deal with ramp. Oof, not far off the mark, but now bait and perhaps a switch. Dexter lies on the edge of the smoke, cleared nicely. Forrester has got the site, Entropiq have got the plant.
Take a look here at MBK's flashes. These are going to be instrumental as part of this retake, especially down a man. More damage done.
Okay, flooding in, man advantage, but here comes the flashes. Torzi to push off, catches it, swallows it, another, this time better. NBK to draw fire, but they are conglomerating, and it's falling apart now. Frozen and NBK got a good shot at this. Need a head. Nickelback, evasive maneuvers. Frozen contributes. They're all low, and there is time. Krad, cowering, does connect. One-on-one, light on time, but a click nonetheless from Frozen.
He's scoop up the kit.
About get the kit in time.
Oh, I don't know if it's going to be here. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. We can tell you what's going on.
4.5 seconds. Not enough.
Oh, there it is. Frozen actually goes on down. Trust us, guys. No G up.
Not sure what's going on there, and I apologize, because that will not, of course, be happening again. Just a close call, but the kit retrieval taking just a little too long. And Entropiq, they convert. Admittedly, it wasn't as convincing as they'd have liked.
Sure, it went down to the wire, right? They obviously did enough here, but the fact that it was so close, well, that's a couple of team gooses right there. Thank you very much.
I mean, if anything, that's just telling of the...
There was definitely some follow-ups.
All right, well, let's get back in, because it does look like the timeout has concluded. We're ready for some deegs. A little bit of a scout in the mix. Mouz looking to respond with a second-round force. We've got a 4-man lean of Entropiq's attack, and it might be quick. I mean, it depends what's there to receive them. They are going to poke and prod. Lackey. Strolling
Contact.
In. Frozen. He's sharp on the Deeg, and a demonstration right there. And NBK already knocks another head clean off the shoulders. Nickelback's gone. It's up to Krad. He does kick down the door, but there's more. Frozen clicks and down to Alien 41. He's got support now. A nice smoke to divide and indeed conquer. It's only Forrester. One looking for the transfer. It's not far off of the mark. Now the bomb loose and Dexter close. He's going to have to wiggle out of this one. Torzi does not let it fall out of hand. And so AKs galore and loud as well. Mouz have immediately wrestled for control again.
Oh, that's a beautiful round to win right there. And that is the perfect setup to be deploying. The bait and switch, the initial shot from Frozen, that made the round in itself. And then you could see MBK, you're not going to get an easier kill than that. So beautiful stuff on the B side, but forcing the issue, right? Now, they committed a lot here. As soon as the bomb goes down, yeah, all right, well, you understand why the follow-up needs to come on through. But it was looking like they were just going to do... Remember LFO, we had them on Dust 2 earlier in the day. They did a heavy anti-eco and upper dark, but they didn't commit like that. As soon as you commit in that scenario, well, you're giving yourself over to this force bite. You could see the flashes constantly raining in to help Frozen, buying time, really making sure it's a limp hit onto the site.
Yeah, and you heard Kassad and YNK, which is such a unique perspective as well to have on a desk. Two people who have stood behind players in the very same capacity. You see Cyclone. I'm
going with Cyclone. Now, he used to be the coach of the academy team, but you were speaking to two coaches.
Two coaches, Kassad and YNK, and it's just interesting to hear that they were, listening into NBK and talking about the power of the way you say something as well as how you say it. But sure, the messaging from NBK was let's not linger on the losses. And of course, what do? They lose the pistol and don't linger for a moment. Frozen immediately putting Deagle bullet down range, and that did start the cascade of a second round rebuttal. We see Mouz 1, Entropiq the same, and it looks very likely that those two AKs are going to be in the hands of the CTs for a while.
I'm having a tech issue too, so it's not just Ellie and it's me. Now, the thing is, we have a little gaming room across the hall, and we ran over and we played a couple shorties in the hour-long break that we had.
How sick was that? We got to play 2 actual games of Counter-Strike.
Remind me next time.
Yeah.
To log out, because I can't log in right now, and I forget the password to my dupe account. So...
Can't you... Doesn't it log you out when you log in?
In halftime, I'll run over there, I'll log it out, I'll come back.
Wibbly-wibbly, but it was working. And it looks like we are, at least, so... Not optimal, but...
Suboptimal.
Yes, certainly. It looks like we are going to see those Ts go ahead for another full investment. Try and continue this battle, forced by wars. And of course, those AKs have fallen into enemy hands now, and we'll have to break through with just the Deeg.
Yeah, and that AWP looks very scary up on the other side of things here for Torzy. So let's see how far they can push the issue here. There it is, the battle you want to see. Elian against Torzy. It's a scout versus that of the AWP, and Elian actually tagged him first. So fortunate that he had the bigger weapon, and there's BMS. Now, once this round concludes, which looking like it's going to happen any moment now, I think we could get a bit more into that BMS story, because those of you who missed IEM Katowice are probably not too certain as to what's been going on. So out mid, space taken.
Give it to us, Torzy. Going to play very passive now after being humbled by the Elian scout. He's just going to be there as a component. The rest likely to try and take this contact. Run boost for Lackey just to avoid any tight lines held. Gets the info and immediately stares at a smoke. So good responses from Mouz. They're keeping them at bay. The time will continue to tick. And actually, Dexter, oh, did he see it? Nothing.
Might walk back into the line of sight, though, of the scout. Yep, there it is.
Nails it, yeah. Big damage out of that scout. And look at Krad go. He's not only hit the tag, he's got the frag, and here comes the body bag. Another drops. Dexter's gone, and all on long. Oh, God, that was on his head. On the floppy beanie. Flustered now. Needs to stand and fight. Bemis lets it slip. And so do Mouz. Frozen trying to recoup. Lackey's had a bit of a mare there. And it's up to that Deagle. Does find something. But yeah, that is quite the round, isn't it? Saved by the NBK kill. Comes down to a 1v1.
That's ridiculous, isn't it? Like, it was a 3-on-5 for the majority of that round there. The fact that they're able to get so much damage done, that's great for Entropiq, but it probably still spells the same scenario here, which should be a bit of an economical. So Mouz hold on, right? They hold on only just, and now it's about trying to consolidate here. Get the back-to-back rounds. Make sure that you're able to work on the bank balance. And they were able to save that AWP, I do believe, from Torzy. So that's good signs, at least. Now, we're back into play. You can see here the lighter upgrades, a couple of P250s, a Deagle, a flash or two smattered across this one. But you already saw Entropiq bounce across the map, right, just trying to bait out utility. So they'll do the same here until they see a bit of a crack, a bit of a weakness, where they can force their way through. Run boost for good measure here. It looks like Krad's...
very specific about where he wants his run boost, and flying across the sky to no avail.
Oh, understandably why. That was kind of swift. I like that. No follow through, but it definitely applied a lot of pressure.
It enables them through perhaps subtle means. For Torzy doesn't really know the extent to which that gap has been punished. The whole four-man unit can, gathered for Dexter. A great nade if he gets one. It's a smoke instead, none available in the HE department.
Thing is, Bemis has to watch long, so Dexter's in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, not if his MP9 is as sharp as the first. He's got Bemis in his support, quick support. 3 on the spray, makes it 4 in quick succession. Good to see him back in the server, and fist bumps exchanged as the third secure.
Yeah, that's the thing with Bemis, right? He is a youngster. The Dust talked about it a lot. Yanko mentioned during the phase time where they picked him up, I think that year.
See that? This could be a whole new lease of life for him with a roster as talented as this one. Looks like round 5 is back underway. Elian. Microphone issues, if you weren't aware, just trying to get everything rocking and all rolling. Elian obviously going to be looking to operate at full capacity now. Very early days.
Yeah, very interesting util set. We'll return to this here. You can see on the radar, it just subsided. It was the door molly that they threw, but Elian also paired that with a passive smoke to get him out towards green box. So that might be curious. They might be expecting a couple of aggressive mid maneuvers from Mouz here. We'll keep tabs on that.
The standard hinge smoke does indicate short is lost. Dexter positions accordingly. You can see Bemis popping a flash round the corner on his cooler from Dexter.
Well, I get that out now.
Yeah, a bit late now. Oh, Dexter does receive him. Quick nade, and Torzy throws an AWP bullet down range as well. Nickelback now forced to watch a 3v4. And Elian's surely going to have to continue to jostle for this. They can't just let short go. They put so many resources into it. He will force the issue. Torzy's laughing at him. It's up to Krad. This is quite the play. This is the gap. This is the gap. Frozen, however. Oh, just as he repositions, does not get caught out. Problem solved. Krad in a near impossible scenario in FK.
That was beautiful. I liked all the details of that from the CT side there, right? That short setup, there was actually extra nades left on the floor there for Bemis to keep throwing, so that's kind of a cheeky way to use that element. And then the fact that Frozen doesn't overpeak allows MBK to be the next player to come take that point of contact knowing he's low on HP. That's also quite frugal, right? They're not trying to give away any guns. They're not trying to give up a whole lot there. Great little setup. Dexter does well to get one, considering that miss, but the re-peak, beautiful. And this is the thing, Torzy, right? Just like Monacy, these youngsters, they're sharp, they're quick, right? They're very quick, and he doesn't get scared, just like this. Now, there's a scout on the other side in the hands of Elian. He knows now.
Yeah, he's well aware that the pressure's coming his way, but he's sticking around. That takes some cojones, and he's gotten away with it. Ready for any funny business by that hinge.
Definitely getting the better right now of Alien in the early stages, but we need to see both orbs come out for both players before we can make too much of a diagnosis. Cheeky by Dexter here is going to see the...
Hello?
Just as he let go of the crouch key, now there's problems.
Oh, definitely. Torsi's got two tucked into his chest. Forrester, that's brave. He's gone through the flames. It will give them space, and bam, Beamer's gone too. Yeah, Nickelback's pressure onto Torsi is scary. This could be a 2v4 in the blink of an eye or the click of a mouse.
Snade.
Yeah, they're softened up a little. Weapons retrieved. MBK and Frozen are going to have to be the main body of this retake. Lackey can ruin it all. Oh, the contact from Carr. No one's looking. It's perfect. Double kill secure up to Torsi, and it might just be a question of maintaining that AWP. Damage just too substantial.
Yeah, well, he's kind of telegraphed his position with that flash, but as we can see, he can get on out of dodge. Now, knowing that, Entropiq can start to chase, right? This was a round where they were going to purchase again in the next round, Virtue with the loss bonus. The bomb getting planted really helps them here with the win bonus, so their cash is going to be flush. Great way to bounce back here from Entropiq and keep the game interesting early. This is their map choice, mind you. I think Mirage was number 2, and then Vertigo is the 3rd map if required here today. That's both series so far today that have had Vertigo. And they're trying to get loud down there. They're trying to build a bit of an atmosphere, build a bit of a vibe.
I wonder if Crad deliberately keeps his lanyard on, just so he remembers he's at an event or something.
Yeah, okay. That's one thing I do when I'm at home. When I'm gaming and I don't want to be a noob, I'll keep my shoes on.
I thought you were about to say you open up your lanyard cupboard and go, where am I today? I'm in Katowice 2015.
Actually, that's not bad.
That's not a bad idea.
That's not a bad idea. All right, well.
There's finally a purpose for that draw we all have. Forrester's out. Yo, uncontested. The smoke on the corner's good. Bemis is sticking around. He's lingering within it. He's going aggressive. Forrester full blind, still gets it. Bemis on the hunt again. Oh, actually, this is a very wise maneuver. Just get out, Torsi, to cover him.
Yeah, this is nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's hanging around.
I'm surprised. Yeah. He's in limbo as it fades. Just gets around the corner, and everything will calm. NBK's gone aggressive elsewhere, by the way. Actually gone full deep into top tons. Crad with a very passive hold.
Yeah, MBK with a lot of space here, but if Crad goes for a very late lurk, it could catch MBK off guard because he's calling all of this clear.
Add info, potentially.
Yeah, and both ways, right? Because at the same time, even though Crad is aware that players could be in Upper Dark, it's still not the most common, even with the changes. They've definitely drawn a massive rotation here.
Yeah, this is actually a bit of a weird stalemate.
Going through? Oh, cancelled it.
Here we go. Crad's going looking. Oh, MBK's here.
The timing. Oh, just looked away.
Still bad info.
Crad should have him in the back here. Easy.
Yeah. NBK looking the wrong way, and Crad profits.
Are they committing long still? They have so much space right now. They could siphon all the way back if they'd like. One kill forces the rotation, biting on this hard. They have no idea what was in tunnels because MBK died without getting to see, and they're still crossing.
Oh, Torsi's confirmed their worst fears with that info on the gap.
Oh, he got spammed.
Yeah, and look at this elevated position. The toes could have just been visible had he proceeded.
I think it's safe here. Okay, well, 3 players to try and retain what they invested into this round.
Well, Elin has got his AWP now, so we'll get to start to see if he can level the playing field. Obviously, Torsi has been winning his AWP versus Scout and Glock, but we'll see if that gets a bit more fruity. Elin was one of the players, I remember when I first cast him, where, like, you know he's not cheating, but you're watching him, you're like, who is this guy? You know, like, where has he come from? I can't remember which game it was.
Windstrike, and I think it was, we were casting, it was Elian and Lackey were on the same team with Hobbit at the time.
And I was just, like, I was in disbelief that he was pulling this off with, as quote-unquote, a no-name at the time.
Well, that's the thing with the CIS region, right? There's a bunch of these AWPers. Monacy obviously being the latest to throw on that list, but Elian was a bit more known before Monacy come on through and blew us all away. You also have a player out there called Deco, D-E-K-O. There's Wonderful as well. There's a bunch of names from that area that are going to be nice to see when they come on out.
I'm trying to think of that brand, that new brand of AWP. I remember, like, I would, dare I say
Simple Inspired.
Well, dispute me if you want, that Cirque was one of the first in that, like, just before the period of all of this talent started, the wave of it. There is a running theme, though, of like CIS AWPs. I think the simple theme you're alluding to.
I'm trying to just rack my brains to see, because in terms of international imports, right, like Cirque was one of the first, especially North America, like that's a whole different conversation.
But also, just when he was at his peak, like I thought Cirque was going to ascend to full, consistent Torsi.
Yeah, and there's a couple, like there's Poison as well.
Yeah, and I would also argue that, you know, Counter-Strike is so much more than just being good at the game. And there's demonstrations just like that all over the place. You can be a flicky, fantastic AWPer, but it is also about the decisions you make, the friends you keep, and the teams you join.
Life.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah, well, look, just on screen there, I'm going to say Hooch doesn't look happy. So I'm not sure what's going on, but he doesn't look... maybe he is. Maybe he is happy. But there's Cyclone. He looks happy. There's a bit of a smirk on his face. Is this... This must be tech.
Yeah.
This has to be tech now. I think we were in timeout. Now we're in tech.
But that also would explain Hooch's face, as this is, I believe, our third for Entropiq, a tech pause. So they have been plagued by them. It's unfavorable, no doubt about it. Something that also is part and parcel of the job. Comes to everyone at random intervals. You just have to, it's all about not what happens, it's a question of how you let it affect you. You know, early in those frustrations, they'll bubble over if you can't just keep that segmented in your brain, get straight back into the game. It's 4-3, you know, everything to play for. Albeit frustrations, I'm sure, hard to dismiss. Let's see if you don't want Hooch, your coach, to be feeding you into that though. And
no, he needs to ward all that off.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the one who's holding that at the door.
Ward off those evil spirits.
Everybody stay happy. They were out there today, actually. We're at a big stadium, and there's a big grass area, not the field. And they were out there kicking the football around this morning about 11 o'clock.
Saying gamers touched the grass.
Yeah, well, these guys, maybe not with their bare hands or feet, but they were on it.
Certainly within the grass region.
They could smell it.
Yes.
And they definitely could see it.
And something that's magical about that sun.
Look at this music. This
Alien
has the
sound again. Okay, so yeah, poor guy. Sorry to just talk over you.
Oh,
but
good. We're trying to keep up to date with it. So clearly, guys, from what I have discerned, it is an issue with Alien's headset.
Now, I don't know if people are trolling, but I have a really interesting headset observation from a different esport.
Okay.
I was just, you know, I did a couple of seasons of COD World League when I was coming up. And so I have a couple of the COD pros followed on Twitter. And at one point, I could be making it up, but I swear, Mud Dog or someone who's
Mud Dog,
yeah, he's been around for a while, the block. But I think he said, like, there are two players in COD that, like brothers, that both grew up with the headset, wearing the headset the wrong way around.
Okay.
So they still, to this day, play with their audio left in right ear, right and left. Can you imagine your brain?
I can't.
I can't.
Yeah.
I actually can't.
I have a personal anecdote of a teammate of mine who used to do it. Now, some people might know Imagine. Maybe he was a Counter-Strike player from Australia, and he did that forever. I don't know if he ever changed, but yeah.
It's almost as crazy as the inverted mouse gamers. I think they've kind of been phased out as flight simulators are no longer a game that you play. But there is a couple of inverted fraggers back in the day. Here we go. Speaking of Alien, let's see if he can do damage on the cross. The answer's no, but a smoke invested to make sure safe passage was secure.
Okay, well, this is very default spready here. Now, one of the changes with this map, obviously the T-spawn, but if you want to go all in long, you can't really invest as many players to covering tunnels and doing the suicide boost that we see them erecting right there. So that's one of the little details you can look towards for CTs if they want to grab some early info, if they're risky enough. But this is Nickelback lining up a long corner smoke here. So they have to deal with one player, and that one player will be Beamers tucked into the blue bin. Watch the timing on this. Molly closed doors, clear anybody out close. Smoke's going to be in the air. That'll be the next piece of the puzzle here that... Oh, changed his mind.
Yo, NBK, last time him and Crad had a bit of an exchange, he did get shot in the back of the head. We'll try and keep tabs of these. It's hard. The poor Observer team's got two different eyes on two different parts of the map. Here comes Forrester. Beamers blind, battered. Dexter surely dead as well. And just like that, a flurry of 3 frags. Leaves Mouz scratching their head, Frozen and Torzi completely isolated, but Torzi's scary, and that's a scary swing. Forrester wide, double zoom, far too much, and Forrester has a round. It was Lackey that brought home a big one, and now Forrester with a triple kill of his own. Beautiful stuff.
I love the detail right there. We were just building up that little long maneuver, but you see a lot of teams go for fast long, and they use similar combos of utility besides that molly you saw bounce off the skybox. But in that scenario right there, look, this is able to isolate the position of Beamers, but the smoke on the corner hadn't landed just yet.
Yeah, and it does look like Mouz are just going to go for a conservative one. We get to see Beamers rocking around with a scout. This is going to be more looking just to take some of the weapons away, force the rebuys. A couple of boys on Entropiq heading towards that 10k region, which is a little intimidating so early. 3 towards the short for a stack, and yeah, there's going to be MBK being a little canary in the coal mine should anyone poke and prod B. Fortunately, it does seem like at least they'll have the numbers in the right place.
How do you feel about budgerigars?
Now, I would assume you made a word up, but I've heard it before.
It's a bird.
The budgerigar? Is it not a budgie?
Well, that is the slang terminology.
Oh goodness, but its full name?
Yeah, and then we've even named Speedos, I don't know what you call them, into budgie smugglers in Australia.
We have that too, yes. You creative sausages.
Something like that.
Budgie smugglers. And well, they've certainly not had any issues smuggling the bomb into the A site.
Well, this one is ripped away here from Mouz. The light investments not looking too hot.
Okay, you know how I'm tracking Elian's mental state. If he was to have gone down to that, the 98 damage to the dome through the car would have been a little frustrating, but he's good. And everything is fine. Entropiq will take the lead into round 10. CT's equipped once again.
All right, all right. Well, we've got some good news. My friend Hugo, he's logged me out of Steam in the other room, so now I can get into the game. I can actually join the main frame.
Or as Anders would tell you, we're all actually plugged in to the main frame.
Yeah, no, these days I'm starting to believe in more and more.
Yep.
Yeah, indeed, because right now, neither team has really been able to stabilize completely. Like, we did have the pistol, then the force by wars back and forth, and oh, the AWP shot of Elian, completely blind, gets it done.
Yeah, that's come too easy. Way too easy. Immediately, Torzi's on an island, on his own, and responsible for the entirety of Mouz's chances in this round.
Check this out, though.
Yeah, I mean, he's certainly aware, he's certainly capable.
I wanted to see him go aggressive, give us a couple of 360 no-scopes.
I heard that is the way. It's not out of the realms of possibility. It does, however, more and more look that way if they contact walk up long or smoke the cross. Torzi's vacating. It's almost like he's planning to save already.
Yes, I think that is a fair sentiment indeed right here. And the fact that Cred is still playing spoiler, right? So here's the problem if you're Mouz. If you want to just hide in B, they're going to have a very good idea because no one will have pushed Crad. You're going to get into the site. You're going to see nobody short, nobody CT. And if they wanted to hunt, which they could start doing because a couple of players now starting to stare down the barrel of the 10K mark.
It would be so cool to see them delay this plan and to get everyone close to B before they did so.
They could actually go for a maneuver like that, right? Because on the other side of things, taking a look at the loss bonus, it's built up max. But the CT side, you need more than max loss bonus to have a decent buy, especially with the AWP and all the goodies. So 40 seconds on the clock now. What does Nickelback want to do? Because Crad, as we mentioned, still positioned here towards the backyard. Nobody has crossed his line of sight.
But I mean, yeah, he's operating in the dark.
Well, they are chasing now. Look at this, starting to move through short. Nickelback going top mid. So Crad can call dark clear in a moment, and they still have full utility on Crad if they want to execute on B, which sounds crazy.
Dude, give me that lurk smoke, and oh, he's even going to do.
Yeah, like that would apply so much pressure now.
Everyone's looking scared. Flashes, mollies. It could be more, could be two. And oh, what? Straight through the door. Through the gap, rather. They're going to lose it all unless NBK has his way. Lovely find. But loses
know
it
where
all.
Torzi is.
And Torzi's the last victim. That is perfect. They get everything and then some.
That's beautiful. That is exactly, if I am Hooch, I have a smile from ear to ear. That's exactly what you want to do. As soon as it was realized they were saving, because there was nothing, there was not any bullets through the smoke, Nickelback goes, well, I haven't been harassed while planting at all. Let's get this one moving, boys. And it was perfect from Crad. The lurk smoke, the flashes to help draw the attention here. Helps the Elian gets a kill through the smoke as well. That's beautiful.
It is, I suppose, part and parcel. Is that how the expression goes? Part
I believe.
Parcel? Part and parcel of Dust 2, you know, in the sense that rounds can be determined in the opening. Well, there you have an example as blood is drawn both ways.
Yeah, well, the scouts here, two of which are going to make this an interesting round. The early long space wasn't taken just yet. They're going to need to regroup in a big way.
Genuine curiosity here. Is that AWP, like, do you juggle it somewhere? Yeah, okay.
Even just hiding it, right? Because worst case for them to get it. If you have a proficient secondary AWPer, which they clearly, Crowd thinks he is, then, yeah, keep that one in your hands.
Because given the circumstance, yeah, it's a valuable asset. Nice lineup for the flashes. Forrester once again gliding out, and this time not so much resistance. Seems Bemis has learned his lesson.
But this is good. Now, they could just go for the long execute. The issues are the scouts. Torzi's is not peering down long whatsoever, and Frozen's is in CT spawn. So the chip damage, unlikely here, and more nades to keep eyes drawn towards middle. Nades are being drawn all across the map here.
Crad actually just averts his gaze, not far off the mark, but a re-peek on that scout. Torzi knows he's got to take some sort of pot shot. That'll do nicely. Bemis one and done. AK idle, Nickelback late short. It's up to NBK to time it right. 2 CT as well. This really is unfavorable and looking more and more unlikely. If Nickelback was to fall, he did actually slip. off the edge, and NBK not going to be able to convert.
The double scout CT spawn retake in a 2v3 scenario.
Torzi's good. Maybe he hits that onto Lackey, jumps instead, and we will watch as Frozen cowers in fear temporarily, make it 7 for Entropiq. This is a great T-Haul already.
Yeah, and 6 in a row of those 7, so that's a really good bounce back here, especially after losing out the Force by Wars early. This is the map they chose. I think we're seeing why. The double mousepad technique coming in from Forrester there.
I'm a personal advocate for the double mouse map.
I like it. You know, we've got a lot of the, you know, the mouse pad with the mouse, and then you've obviously got the text on the top pad is white, and then on the keyboard you've got the white keys, and the pink brings you to the lower pad. It all makes sense.
It all does. Lines up, and of course, nice extra double thickness on the pad. We are already into the next round of play. Round 12 is live.
We're in long.
And we are into the long fight. Down goes Forrester, cleared out by this gruesome threesome. Torzi, Frozen, and Bemis, leaving Bemis now parked into long. That does really deny any options Entropiq will have on that side of the map. So, pressure towards the doors provided by Nickelback's presence and flash.
This is the right call as well, because it was a 4-man lean towards long, so the rotation is segregated right now.
Yeah, it's really cool that Nickelback's going to be up short, so any of the potential A players will be having their feet planted by his presence should he announce it.
This is all on NBK.
Okay, well, he's been playing this site for many a year. And it's up against oh, yeah, thinks better of a repeat. Still loses a lot of his life. Has to do something. Does take one. The 10 HP NBK frag will keep it competitive.
Oh, is that door smoke landed? I think it just has.
Oh, Nickelback's trying to be a rat. Bemis is aware.
Oh!
That's big from Bemis. Rest
not planted either.
on the side. Yeah, made loose by NBK's frag. He actually bought them a lot of time with that, more than I think he would have expected. Lucky by the smoke. They ran past each other. Frozen does manage to take down Ellie, and the bomb still not planted, but Lackey lingers again around the smoke. Confirmation now. Bemis can strike as it fades. 28 Lackey. Crosshairs in the wrong place. Mouz, great recovery. Looked good for the boys from Entropiq for a second there.
Really important kill from Bemis, right? Because that could have turned into them just being clustered from CT spawn, mid doors, and B. And I also think I addressed that smoke. I think he landed it in the left-hand hinge of the door if we were T's looking into the site. So it didn't completely cover it. That's what actually took a bit of time. But this is an important kill here from Bemis. Just, whoa, okay. Whack-a-mole right there. Not a bad shot. And got a little bit crazy on the site as well. So good start from Bemis. I think he's come in here with something to prove in a way.
Here
we go again.
Love those moments. So much to prove for Bemis. Tested by Nickelback, and again, he puts his name in the feed early. Forrester sitting duck. The flash saves him. Both blind in sync. Dexter's about to be isolated here. Very, very hot and bothered, and Forrester has managed to claw them straight back into a 4v4.
So what's the reaction from the CTs here? Torzi boosted short, sure, but they don't have any information towards B. NBK is jiggling. Frozen is now going back towards mid, but if it's just the long take again, it should be another retake.
Yeah, almost flawless at this point. They can stroll in without so much as a...
Oh, flash and go.
Yeah, not even a smoke. Oh, we just saw Bemis look away. Up to Torzi.
Maybe another save.
It has to be. Especially now you got NBK operating with a limp.
I love the variation. It seems so simple, right? Why are we getting excited about a flash and go? Well, they've done smoke wall and go. They've done like the lurk up behind the initial smoke, drop the second, and now just flash. They're different variations, right? And it's all through the same type of a play. So long seems to be the port of call early.
And they haven't, other than the one example which we kind of missed during the replay, but other than that, we haven't actually seen like Mouz successfully win out the trades on long.
I think the thing is, right, this is where the mind game comes in, and we're already way too late within this half. But if you did a 4-man long lean early and you locked them down, right, then they might be a little bit more skittish before they head back
that's a possibility.
Long. Yeah, and then it happened to them once, and then the way that the round unfolded, they reacted very well off of that. So I think Entropiq, in a way, they have contingencies even if that is in place. So Mouz are in a bit of strife.
That was the round that I was referencing, was the one that ended B, right?
Yes,
yeah.
Just to note, though, Mouz Sports, even since the addition of MBK, when they had JDC over there at Katowice, they didn't play Dust 2. So this is something where playing your own game, as cliche as it comes in, is necessary for a team like Entropiq, because they don't have too much data to go off, right? You don't know exactly what the positions are going to be. That was a lovely shot. Looking sharp, our Entropiq here today.
Yeah, I mean, not only has Bemis got something to prove, I do think the entirety of Entropiq, you know, it's a weird place to find yourself where you are already competitive, feared, researched, but not quite considered a top 10 team. You're not at the tip of anyone's tongue when talking about teams in your group.
Yeah, I feel like Entropiq is a gatekeeper to maybe the top 15. Like we say similar things about Big, but more like the top 10.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like Entropiq, if they're able to string a couple of good events together, that's when that whole dialogue shifts, right? So this is important for them. Now, remember, lots of games here. 5 days, a best of 3 every day for all these teams. Here we go, back into Nagani. That's sort of one-way smoke there. Nickelback not going to try his luck for too long. Plenty of flashes, but you see no information from Mouz. They're so scared of this long take now, they haven't been able to take the space whatsoever. This information now plays into Nickelback's calling, right? Okay, if they don't have long, where are they going to shift the AWP? More mid-centric or more short-centric to find a pick?
So does that mean it's a safe assumption that Nickelback really wants the information of long being clear or not? Well, I was implying and building into Forrester going for a clear, but it does seem like he's just been dispatched for a passive setup.
But this is good, right? So see that util? So that if they know they don't have long, you're going to use more util to clear out short than you normally would. And Torzi's actually taking back long control, so trading spaces.
Trading places, that's the Eddie movie, Murphy. Wait,
the Eddie Murphy movie?
The Eddie movie Murphy, yeah. I asked you that about 6 months ago.
Oh yeah?
Trading No, Trading Places, that was it.
Have you seen it since?
No. Because I couldn't remember what it was called. And I typed in Eddie Movie Murphy, so I didn't show up.
I'm sure you got some interesting results.
I did, actually, yeah.
Well, Dexter's nade. Let's see how much damage he can get done. Just a bosh, not a bish.
And here comes the bash. Crawling into Dexter's crosshairs. Forrester comes a knocking loud, kicking down the door. Poor old MBK and Frozen quaking in their boots.
Going back? They're going back?
They faked it. They ran up the whole ramp. Frozen MBK.
Oh, this is a mid-round goal. Oh, dear.
And now I'm confused.
Yeah, me too. You kind of have to go A now.
Yeah, Bemis and Torzi don't know what's going on. I mean, they've confused everyone, including themselves. They know Torzi's here. They know Frozen's still on B.
8 seconds, gentlemen.
That's the end of that. Round. Yeah, that is... Okay, well, that was a real interesting last-minute call. It looked like Forrester had all the intentions in the world of ending B. Ends up with a weirdly quiet end. 6th for Mouz, they'll take it. No arguments there. Last round of the first half, second series of our first day continues.
Yeah, Diagnose, like, to take a look at that, I can understand why they fell back. Because at this point, he's just killed the A rotator, which means that it's the A lonker the A anchor of Bemis.
What if I'd started?
I don't know, but it could be fun. We can make a whole bunch of new terms.
Yeah, why not?
Regardless, they didn't get the round. 8-6. They can make this almost inseparable here, Alex, if Mouz pick up this final round. Oh, and that's a way to start.
It looks like Bemis is in a bit of a rush.
Shout out to Rush Lee. One time.
Only once. It's in his contract.
Lucky the AWPer, though. They got the dorps out right here, right now.
I don't know, but I believe he's got something in the bag. He does take a chunk, and that's a big find from MBK. Good trade out of Crad. Keeps it at least possible, and he's sticking around for more. He's actually working around the smoke. He knows he's tagged. That's why there's bloodlust in his gameplay and a demonstration for the finish. Dexter holds his nerve and holds the sight.
Well, what now?
Yeah, great question, because Bomb's actually outside, like, back towards T-spawn and dark.
Yeah, for Dexter to push, it'd be so risky on that HP, right? So the fact he's parked the bus here, it's going to be an interesting angle late within the round. Elian's still holding the mid-cross, so it's on the Nickelback to beat Dexter if they want to finish B, but, well, as he holds that S key, be slinking down through lower. Elian back towards long, Nickelback going short. Okay, divide and conquer.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Torzi likely will, though, because he's trying to be a contingency for mid. He's going to hear him above him. Probably the worst position to contribute initially for Nickelback's plan. Elian is going to be perfectly positioned for the long defuse.
And Torzi can't jump and take a shot. He's a little bit too late.
Maybe he hits them with the element of surprise. A pop flash for the info, and that's a very blind Torzi. Information gathered. Entropiq now well aware, and a second flash for good measure. Oh, he'll take them both. Squads have got Sponge here for all of that good analysis. Juice Crad throwing himself straight up into the mix.
Oh, he's actually blocked it. He was gonna play in it.
It would take a block instead. Was trying to hide within it, and that would have been a very frustrating way for Mouz to be dismantle.
This is huge because Alien can contain position. They're pushing long now.
He's changed the plan with that move alone. Oh, Nickelback. Okay, good clear from NBK. That actually changes things again, this time now in favor of Mouz. The pendulum swinging.
Oh, deep CT smoke lobbed on now. They want to fight.
Yeah, and that's another great long-range Glock. It was the USP, I believe. Dexter puts it to good use. NBK is having a field day. Can he get any more? Torzi puts his name in the feed as well, but damage done. 3 to the natural-born killer. Forrester, surely one of them will find the headshot. NBK, Frozen's the one to throw his hat in the ring for one. Okay, Mouz, they take the pistol. Crad starting us off with some gymnastics.
Yeah, beautiful stuff there, right? You saw the little maneuver, it looked good, and it all kind of fell apart. I think we need to thank NBK for that one, because that's huge impact from him. The hard clear, you like to see it. You like to see the hard clear indeed, but they were just happy to fight and biff. Now, the decisions from both teams made a lot of sense. Number advantage for Mouz, and they had them all there. And for Entropiq, it's like, we can't give them long real estate. We have to fight for this. So you can understand the choices made on both sides, but it's an eco now from Entropiq. And that little aggressive mid-move you saw come out from Crad, I want everybody to keep their eyes on aggressive CT maneuvers from Entropiq, right? They like a suicide smoke, they like a palm tree molly, or back a cat, depending on how new you are. And yeah, they like to at least feign to go for those type of maneuvers. It gives them a little bit more depth on the CT side. But it's a contact B, and I think theirs might work out a little bit better than what Entropiq's did within that first half.
Is going to walk on in, and I mean, they've done well to not die on the initial engagements, but not too much more to be said. Forrester is hitting every bullet he takes. Fortunately, Torzi finally gets the broom out and sweeps that round under the rug. 8 gap closing. Money to be spent into our 18th.
Yeah, so you can keep these Galils if you're Mouz right now, even though you know the buy's on the other side. Elian has invested into the Scout in lieu of an AWP. So going to be a little bit harmstrung. Harmstrung?
Yeah,
Harmstrung.
Eddie Murphy movie, I believe.
Yeah, that's the one.
Harmstrung.
Harmstrung.
What's the synopsis? What's the abstract?
I don't know.
Harmstrung. He's a professional runner, and he gets into a street fight and pulls his hamstring.
Okay.
That's the first 20 minutes.
All right. All right. I'm excited to see where this movie goes.
Strong, actually. That's because he's strong, even though he was harmed.
Okay. All right. I said we can do something with his last name as well.
Good, certainly. Oh my God! Because it's Murphy's Law, and everything that can go wrong will.
We've done it.
Thank you.
Send it to Hollywood.
Here all week.
Send it to Hollywood. Well, this is a nice setup here in upper tunnels. Lucky can push. If there's any mid to B pressure, Lucky can actually push in upper dark and get some space. So they've done the hinge smoke. That might lure Lucky forward. Has Forrester as oversight. It's a 3-man prong defense, very spread out on A. There you go. Upper dark info. This is great news. A minute on the clock. Nickelback A ramp. Elian to chip on in from car and Crad to anchor long. So the CT setup still quite tidy right now, but decision yet to be made from Dexter and co. This is looking like a classic A split here. They can throw bridge smoke, lurk smoke, apply pressure onto the site. BMS can go late long.
Yeah, we'll see. He might have Dexter with him if he doesn't join him short, but they're already kind of probing. Nickelback's really isolated now. Lovely utility has forced him into this tight corner, but no long presence yet. Crad remains unchecked. Nickelback's suspicious. Oh, Frozen has just deleted him. Through the smoke, into the head. Crad is in a nice position. You're not going to clear that one. Up on the barrel. Elian, however, will have a couple of chances, and it's actually Crad again. A great find onto NBK, a little overzealous, and they are giving them the fights they want. Entropiq set up for a successful retake. Torzi trying to dig himself out of trouble. Lackey partners up. No trades available, and just like that, the frags will come in for Mouz. Torzi equalizing quickly, and his team finishes off the rest.
Beautiful stuff. Nice and easy to get us up to 9-9, and likely going to be 10-9 in favor of Mouz here. I think the BMS storyline is kind of telling itself. He's got 90 ADR. He's got 221 utility damage, the highest right now in the server. And in terms of his kill, well, he's got 16. Right? There's only Crowd on the other side with 17. So this is great stuff to see out of BMS here. Have a very young team to work with, don't they? Like, I know that Dexter and NBK bring that average age up, but Frozen as well. It's a name we've been talking about for years already, and he's a monster himself. So this Mouz Sports roster with a bit more shine to it. But we do have what is a tactical timeout called by Hooch and Co. He's the coach over there at Entropiq, the man with the plan.
Damn. It's just surprising me how many of these professional Counter-Strike players do not have a 10-year coin. just the Torzy doesn't, Frozen doesn't, Alien doesn't.
If we weren't feeling old, we definitely are now. Yeah, it's wild to see. But they're going to get the scout out in Alien's hands. Let's see if he can pip a shot. They're going to connect that one.
Torzy. Hamstrung.
There you go.
Beamers walking into long, and they will actually get it. So this is a lot of long control. We learned a lot of lessons in that first half as to the reactions the CTs can take upon loss of long. In fact, that was kind of the recurring theme of our first half. Looks like it will bleed into our second. And yeah, wow, completely calling the entire squad to join them. Even NBK, whose job is to babysit middle, were likely to join them late. Four-man unit and looking for info. Lackey and Nickelback's probe middle to confirm their suspicions that it is that all in long.
Let's see if they're as diligent, right? Oh, we've seen the jump to clear out the car. We've seen the molly to help in that position. Bimus is lining up a smoke right now. So out they fly. Are they going to clear Forrester with a molly? Doesn't seem likely now.
Yeah, tag for a frag. It's not a bad exchange if Forrester can finish. Doesn't get checked. Does damage two for the price of one.
Torzy's still low.
Argin. Ogoff. That's a problem. Lackey, however, a little late to the party. He is going to have a one shot before the smoke blooms. Not even. Just walks through. And there we have it. 10. Mouz find double digits first.
I think Nickelback has died through smokes 2 rounds consecutively now, right? Frozen in the previous, and then Dexter right here just goes, boop. Yeah, okay. Well, that's a nice way to pick up a couple of kills. But now the AWP will come out for Alien. So we have played what would have been the first 4 rounds of this half, and now he has the big green in his hands. It was also a slow start to get in the AWP there within the first half. Let's see if he can find some impact, because currently, well, bringing up the bottom of the scoreboard with only 5 kills, and AWP's impact must be felt on Dust 2. No way around it.
That's such a deep smoke. Look at that. Completely nullifies the positioning of 2 of the Mouz boys. Dexter's gone. Just like that, he actually got a little too hungry over on B. Gives Forrester the opener.
He must have gone in.
Yeah, and a miss from Alien. Bemus.
Get messy.
Oh, some chaos on long. No one's gone down. The initial engagement on B, still the only blemish on the record, but already control leaning Entropiq's way. There is very few gaps now. Forrester admittedly did not probe and push the issue, but Mouz don't know that.
I think they're going to swing on mid together. Nickelback's close as well. Crowd and Lackey are both here.
Big pressure towards he's going to get caught out. The flash.
Oh,
the bodyguard. No. NBK, though, just the one. Perfect play from Entropiq, just pushing in unison.
Yeah, you can see that's one of those aggressive CT maneuvers that we talk about when you don't have any space. And they even had the number advantage in that scenario, but it's a team-based effort. You're able to trade efficiently. Now you put yourself into a 2-on-4 situation. Very likely to convert this one now. There is money residual for NBK and Dexter in the grave right now, so they can get a buy through into the next round anyway. And the question is, do Frozen and Bimus want to test their luck?
Frozen's been very arts and craftsy with his stickers onto the case hardened, and well, Lackey does go down, but it doesn't really cost him much. The round is theirs, 10-10. We are going to be seeing them trading blows after the run of 4 on that opener, as you highlighted before. 5-12, keeping track of Alien as he will look to come online. Plenty of rounds to come, and this game and these teams seem very equally matched as we currently stand, overtimes and perhaps even all the maps. So sign on, sign up. What was that third?
Vertigo.
Another Vertigo third. Okay, that's going to be a lot of fun.
MBK dancing with death here. They're into lower.
Very loud, very fast.
Oh, this is full secure right now of mid and dark, because Alien's pushed out short with the AWP. They can park the bus here. They can play a scenario where they give all this space up long as Crad doesn't go down. Torzy's shot could have been it.
That was very close to ruining all of this.
But look at the radar right now. Look at the setup. Nickelback has full dark and Alien has full mid control. So they can all turn their attention to dealing with this long play. You can see Crad lining something geeky up. And there's Forrester through the smoke. Frozen's hit the deck. 2
rounds in a row, Forrester has contributed that opening kill.
Oh, here comes Dexter. And easy as you like. Look at that position from Nickelback. So many angles to clear. A great round here from Entropiq.
Yeah, I mean, just building off all that information that they are so aggressively seeking. I haven't seen too many turnarounds in these dire straits, especially a 2-man disadvantage. It's looking eyes on Torzy with Bemus to follow. Likely just let your AWPer work. You don't want to be going down and making him sit and save for 50 seconds. But I say that, Bemus, he's considering his options. MBK to join them. A smoke for the cross, a second to be thrown on the fly.
Oh, we've all been there.
And now NBK's responsibility is clear. Second smoke is in. Counter util strong. But across they go. A loud thud of the feet implies Bemis is on his way, burning a little. The spread is perfect from that incendiary, and yeah, a second counter buys more time. They've got no health, no frags, and they're just lining up for Lackey. Only NBK and Entropiq. I mean, that was... I bet for you, Chad, when you saw the setup and the first kill, you were like, so this probably ends like that.
Yeah, it's so difficult to get into a round like that. And I think one of the reasons that maybe they didn't save is because they thought they could have been hunted. Because remember the first half, they got hunted when they just tried to lock down the B. And we've also seen a lot of pop flash aggressive maneuvers from Entropiq. So they have the long control. They've given it a crack here. Great utility usage. This is the theory paying off, right? This didn't have to get like a crazy mid-round or anything like that. It was, this is the plan, and it worked to perfection. So Hooch is going to be happy with that one.
Talk about plans. Something new on the Mouz agenda.
You like Glocks?
It's one of my favorite weapons.
Yeah?
Yeah, I prefer it over a USP because it's got 20 bullets. I can really have a go.
All right. Yeah, and you get it for free.
Yeah, I do love anything for free. What was the most recent thing you got for free?
Ooh. Now that's a question.
Other than wins, I mentioned.
I guess the flight here was free.
Yeah, truth. What was mine? Got some cool headphones.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Forrester's in a tunnel, and so are we, actually, I think.
We like tunnels. The wind is nice. Oh, they're getting mopped on up here.
You got any sound effects?
Well, this is the thing. It could just be us, right? We've had this before where it could just be us. It's highly likely it is just us, actually.
We should stop talking about it then.
So, like, we hear the game sounds in our head.
Yeah.
But we hear the audio of the players right there, so that's good news. We know that they're still kicking.
And there he is with the flamboyant, beautiful keyboard. It's Forrester who's at the top of the scoreboard and sailing towards potential 30 here in regulation. 24 and counting. Taking a look at the utility damage, stark contrasts to our earlier Dust 2 game, LFO versus G2. We saw Hunter and Nico with a combined 700 utility damage on their defensive half, and about 200 is the haul so far from the Entropiq boys.
Oh, okay, well.
They're out. I mean, the contest for long is short-lived. Nickelback drops a nade to show presence. That will buy time.
Let's go through the theory of how do they react here, because Dexter lurking up cat. If Elian deals with him, it's going to alleviate so much pressure. Missed shot, and Dexter doesn't punish.
I thought he would be going for a wide one there. Instead, happy to live on. And now long, with the AWP known to not be occupying it, Crowd is forced to drop out of smoke and play around it. He's done good work from here before, and that smoke is suspicious. Doesn't stop them throwing out their own. Elian really uninterested in contesting.
They're boosting.
Yeah, this could be good. Oh, looking the wrong way. NBK, the first victim. No trade. So low, though, in the smoke. Multiple bodies, nades raining in, chaos incarnate. So many bodies, and not a single person is pulling the trigger. Here comes Nickelback. Responsibility of one. Now ticking, and down they go. That's going to lose a lot of its potency. Forrester Crad just didn't have the health to contest here.
Now they need to back off, and if Crad can get away with his life, if Bimus doesn't poke his head up, then he should be able to escape with this rifle in his hands. Backpedaling, and he might get away with this one. Bomb halfway tick now. And that was so awkward because there was multiple fights, right? The long fight just felt like it was going on forever there. We could see Nickelback's POV, but that was an essential fight for this retake to happen. And then on A, it's just about stalling things out. But this is kind of taking me back to when Na'Vi were consistently just doing this, and that's when Flamey was on the team, because that's all they would do, right? They would just go, A-long execute, throw your nades, we can wait, it's all good. Nades disappear, we shoot you in the head. Almost similar scenes that happen here, right? Very simple Counter-Strike.
I remember casting those kind of games because after 10 rounds of that, obviously everyone, including us, have an expectation, and then all it takes is one boomage, rush B,
yep.
And then you have the last 5 rounds where you're retaking B, 3v3, and you're mad as anything.
Yeah.
I mean, it can work beautifully in terms of conditioning and expectations, but we are ready for the tail end now. We are heading towards regulation. 3. Oh my god, we've got the 3v2 again. Fight, a biff right into the dark. Dexter down, that's important. And okay, a 2 for 2, but Forrester makes it even better. He keeps hold of dark. That was what it was all for. 3 players from Mouz vying for control, and they leave. Well, they don't, actually. They're tucked in right there.
He completely tucked in here. Crud's already rotated.
Oh,
as
no.
simple as you like. Look at that, Torzi. Nade in his hand, Alex.
Yeah, they were not expecting that at all. Bemis forced to remind everyone as he maneuvers through the corpses of how badly this one went. I mean, they were operating with the knowledge, the sound, and the man advantage, and that didn't stop Forrester and Crad from hitting the shots. Actually, Lackey is the one to be getting the credit.
Look at this, though, right? I love in the Counter-Strike we're seeing Forrester's playing passive outside doors. Sure, Bemis can smoke it here, but he's got first responder of Crad close by. Also means that Forrester can flick over and help Crad. Alien patrolling all of A. As soon as this contact's taken from Bemis, okay, now he's going to get the smoke out. All good. Molly towards the window, not a problem either. But they're coming through.
Yeah, no worries at all. Forrester, jiggle, bait, nice from Bemis, a first step.
Silly now, doesn't it?
Oh, God, he got the info. Looks the wrong way. Crad through the flames, obscured. 21 frags and counting for Crad, but now Entropiq dangerously close to breaking, well, I was about to say breaking the bank. It's only Dexter.
Partially fractured-ish.
Yeah, okay, so it's like just on the verge of collapse.
Yeah, so look, they can get one more buy-in here, and Dexter can just go for a pistol. Torzy can glass cannon AWP if they feel that that's going to be a necessary component. Let's take a little bit of a look at Torzy's spawn here as well. It's a T-side timeout here. Actually, the third one called right here from Mouz in the first half. So, sorry, this is the second half. We're all over the place right here today. But late within the piece here, Cyclone getting on the mic. Now, look, they can get a tidy buy. As I mentioned, it will just be Dexter who's light on. And Torzy has gone glass cannon. So the thing is, we've seen a lot of aggressive space-taking maneuvers coming out of Entropiq early. You have to deal with those one way or another. Torzy's boost over towards the suicide position could be one way, but if they do go aggressive and they throw any aggressive smokes, you are going to have to respect them if you're Mouz. So here we go. Into play. There's the tower. Oh, risky from Lackey to get back. Xbox smoke landing, blooming. Bemis with pressure towards long as well.
Yeah, long, strong setup. Crossfire established, and it does look like Frozen and Bemis have the intention to try and crack it. Crad takes a bit of a gamble to drop that smoke safe. Nickelback allowed safe passage to relocate.
Crad's going to have to deal with 3 of them here, it looks like, so he's committed to this now.
I mean, this is a hard clear. It's a common clear. Question of if they partner up for this. One of them will be looking to clear the left side.
Oh, flash is deep enough.
Doesn't matter, I guess. Bemis, swing and a connection, a smoke to draw attention. Elian knows he has to find a frag. He cannot just sit passive and let them set up. He has to continue to maintain information here on long. And post it up, they will pause. It's NBK and Dexter currently starting to float around. Looking to establish the second prong. That could be the CT smoke,
yeah,
and it is.
One.
Elian holds his nerve, flash first, and now he's surely screwed. Burning in, Torzy executes, and now a 3 versus 4. This isn't out of the realms of possibility, and oh, Dexter, a lovely corner. He catches himself a Nickelback, or rather a Lackey. Nickelback falling in the process elsewhere, and now Forrester so detached from the pack. What could you do if that had been a second?
They just keep up the bomb still, you know, Alex?
Yeah, they could, and oh my God, Forrester's brought it to a 1v1! What? He's not even on the site by the double doors. Mouse's heart starts to quicken in pace, and I'm sure Forrester as well. 29! Oh. And oh, it will stay that way. Bemis does not need any help. But damn, Forrester keeps them on their toes.
Yeah, the detail there, that deep CT smoke. If you're playing B-Hill, you can see over the top of it. And one of the kills that came through dropped the bomb. So they had to actually put themselves in a position where they needed to cross. So that's how it got so close. That's how it got so spicy.
Let me see this again. Look at this.
You can see just over the top of the smoke. And the bomb's down just to the left here of the crosshair of Forrester now. So he's getting a chance to shoot fish in a barrel.
He never gives up. 3 peaks, gets info on the fade. His timing is brilliant.
Lordy.
He's really feeling himself. Credit to Forrester. 13 to 12 though. Mouz did just get saved by Bemis in a very big way. Yeah, he could ruin everything. He could ruin everything right now. Torzy's already posted up. It's up to Bemis. He may not clear this.
No idea.
I don't think they do. The notorious blue bin. He's been loving this. This is the first time it's going to be truly an element of surprise. Torzy's gone. Bemis is blind. Dexter drops the bomb to try and provide support, a leap into their arms, and now no trade available. We will settle down. Dexter doesn't look settled at all, if anything, paranoid.
Well, he's picked up the AWP, so with that in his hands, and Frozen rotating back through spawn. They might just try and finish towards A again, but once they take contact, unless they don't have a molly to clear out Lackey's position, all Lackey has to do over towards Car is stay tucked. Alien will bait, and then they're going to have to hard clear with an AWP that can swing on them anytime. Alien with only 5 kills though, Alex. It would be a nice time for him to get the 6th.
Yeah, misses his first, or at least a deterrent. And he's secured himself passage with the flash. Now, 30 seconds. You can see Nickelback is working on a late long, but it doesn't help if you lose Lackey so early. They can now propel towards the site. Necessary utility from Alien, but Forrester, again from a million miles away, sends a bullet from Zimbabwe into Bemis. And Nickelback has timed it perfectly. Should finish the job, hasn't finished the job, and now it's Frozen's turn to activate. Forrester's there to pick up the pieces. He is keeping them in it. In the absence of Alien, Forrester's fragging for 2.
Yeah, this is crazy. Like, that's such an impactful kill again as well, because in that scenario, they're already at the number disadvantage here from Mouz. That overextension from Lackey was, look, that was where they were maybe playing for a bit too much info. You know, you had the perfect setup. They're not to know, but Nickelback's creeping up mid. So, yeah, look, they win the round. They get across the line here, and they actually put some question marks in the Mouz camp as far as the buy goes. He's shooting sharp, isn't he? 31 to the name of Forrester right now, and a timeout called from the CT side of things. Entropiq understanding the scenario. You have to work out who's dropping who, what's going to get picked up, what's the utility they're going to need to purchase on through. On the other side of things, Cash is strapped. It almost feels right now, with 1900 into the next round, that Mouz have to force buy. It feels like they have to force buy here.
Yeah.
The thing is, if you go for the save, you get the 1900, it's still not a full buy anyway. This is at least a chance for them to have 2 gimmicky, pistol-threatening-ish rounds. It's the best of a bad situation.
Yes, certainly, but there is also a grimace on your face when you realize this is your best choice, sitting on the Tech-9 Kevlar and $50 in your back pocket.
E-set piece, maybe?
Yeah, let's see.
Smoke the doors.
It looks like they've already considered that as an option. Look, Ellie and Lackey, it's an unusual 3-man lean.
They're reading the play here, Entropiq.
Yeah, they've really got their finger on the pulse here, and what a smoke. They're going to go screen on the way through. Pre-fire, he knows what's up. The bullets really did not connect. A chance now, a real big one. If they could just somehow silence those outside the B doors, Elian can't really contribute on his own. The AWP is not the weapon for the job, nor the MP9. Nickelback's quick behind him. They are going to feel like that site is tiny right now.
They've been constricted here. They have to fight. They have to fight. There's a flash and a smoke available. Do they want to push? Do they want to take a gamble here? Yeah. Are Entropiq questioning whether to go for the retake?
There's no way.
Oh, lordy. Well, 2 in upper tunnels now. Krad's lining up something.
Who goes first? Lackey?
The timing is really starting to get away from them. Over halfway gone.
They just want to punish, I guess.
They're not going for it. They're just going to deny them everything on the site.
They want them all to die.
Are they going for this?
They want them all to die. This is some crazy 5D chess. 7-dimensional backgammon.
Well, you can't let them get away. If you're doing this move, you have to take them all down here.
They're safe on the bricks. Conversation for another time. But that's amazing. Mousesports have actually gotten away with that, and it's off the back of some interesting decision-making.
But the thing there is, Forrester was the player to respond on B, and he's been owning them throughout. He'd got nothing.
Yeah, one time.
Just damage.
I mean, so much of it, but you mean, you know, you hear that all the time.
Yeah.
3 low. What does that mean? What do I do with that?
Well, that's just kept Mouz in it. I can't believe it. They've been able to get a buyback off of this. 2 players surviving. You can see the AKs around now. Sure, a couple of Galils, but a lifeline.
A proper like Chris Tarrant straight up on the phone. Hey, mate, I think it's B.
Uh-oh, another audacious play.
Yo, and Lackey's going to flash from this. Is coordinated. Beamer's tucked aware.
Foot spotted. Oh, dear.
Go and B.
Forrester again. Surely this time.
Nah. You can't. Once bitten. Twice a little more shy and ready to frag. Body 2, now perhaps a 3rd as well. Frozen, he's committed to this. 1 is good, but Forrester's better, and that will return us to a sense of normalcy. 3 for Forrester this time as he reaches 34. Normalcy's not a word, is it? Normality is a word.
But I knew where you were going.
Close enough.
Now, Krad has just sealed the deal on this round entirely, right? Because with a minute left on the clock, it's unlikely Bemis goes around the world, back through T-spawn to long. Krad's even checking that issue, right? So he's pushed up top mid. You can't come out lower, and it's not an angle that's common to clear, right? So for Bemis right now, with the bomb down on the site, you're going to be assuming everybody's gravitated over. If he clears top mid, props to him.
Yeah, I mean, with so many plates spinning, to be even thinking about clearing top mid now.
Well,
he is.
All right.
UL's in the chat, 15 though for Entropiq. Mouz onto the 13. I mean, they got one chance. Could they possibly do it again? You can see the smile on their faces because Entropiq know they just dodged a bullet.
It actually is now, well, it was always bad for Mouz, but
just worse.
Before it was going to be that they would have got a 1900 loss bonus, but because they won that round, it actually put them back down to 1400 loss bonus.
Great.
So now in this round, they only got 1400. So, yeah, a couple of Deagles, a couple of Tech 9s, some armor, and very, very light util.
Oh, and that nade looks destined for greatness. Chip damage dealt. Charging now up the catwalk, stressing their stuff. Mouz here on Dust 2. Does feel like their days are numbered. Impending doom filling the room.
2 smokes and a flash. That's all they have.
Hope again is geared to the teeth counter-terrorists. Here he is, Nickelback. He could end it right here with one single spray. 2 doesn't seem enough. He'll go for 3 on the USP. Elian here, one of the many candidates to finish this. It's Frozen and MBK partnered up, attached at the hip. And Elian's slow clear will lead to the demise. Oh, not of another. Just under the radar, and Frozen's beating him. That's a fist to the desk if this does lead to a Mousesports recovery.
How can they do it again?
No way.
And in this fashion,
There's
a
no
2-on-4.
What do they need? They need short, or they need something outside of this site. They are just going to have to park the bus. The uncertainty's too much. If they could kill long, that does really relieve the pressure. Info gathered. They're coming CT ramp. Frozen with so much on his plate. Needed that. Krad saves them. And Entropiq recover. 16 on the board. Dust 2 goes the way of Entropiq. Mouz just